Now broadcasting from the Next Gen Conservative Studio in sunny South Florida, bringing you the latest in politics, current events, and pop culture. This is the Whitfield Report with Sam Whitfield.
Yo, it worked! Sorry.
Yeah, it actually did this week.
Holy shit.
Folks, welcome to tonight's edition of the Whitfield Report. Multi-streaming live on Rumble, Odyssey, and X, formerly known as Twitter. Very happy to be here. And we've got a jam-packed show for tonight.
Oh, God. Do we?
Cool. Well,
Maybe
not. Well, I mean,
I know you got a big thing going on. I think maybe it's not such a. I don't know. I figured you'd start with the thing that you had going on.
Yeah, I mean, you know.
Aside from that, I don't know. What's the news? We're still kicking ass, taking names.
Well, we're still kicking ass, and I just released yesterday a brand new book from Whitfield, from Whitfield's Writings Publishing. Ladies and gentlemen, oh crap! I've got to turn off background blur a sec. Hold on. Ladies and gentlemen, hot off the press is The Fourth Estate.
Oh shit!
Now available for purchase on Amazon, in both paperback and
you
Kindle
can't have
edition.
that copy because it says not for resale. That's Sam's copy.
Well, I can because it's preprint.
Yeah, but everybody else got to go get their own.
Everybody else. Everyone else needs to get their own. So here's the funny thing: is Morpheus, Dalek, and I are all kind of in a race because, believe it or not, I actually ordered 2 copies of my own book, because I'd actually like to buy a copy of my own book to have. That doesn't have the little preprint sticker on it. And then I also bought one for my grandma too. For my grandmother Dell.
And to be fair, the preprint sticker makes it more valuable long term.
Yeah,
because that's an author copy.
Yeah, I mean that's cool, you know, and that
you just don't like the stickers. They fuck up your artwork. I got you. Yeah, he's an artiste, ladies and gentlemen. Sam Whitfield, author, and artiste.
Yeah, I mean, listen, this sticker, although it is cool, it kind of covers
an all-around gentleman. That's your tagline, right? Author, artiste, and all-around gentleman.
Yeah, all-around good guy.
And base triple.
No, gentleman. Gentleman works better.
Yeah, that actually does work better. The reason why I use all-around good guy is because someone actually said that to me in high school. They're like, you're an all-around good guy. So I've just always kind of
I seem to be savage. I prefer gentleman because sometimes you could be, man, if somebody draws your ire.
Yeah, that's
into a duel.
So gentleman works.
Yeah.
A gentleman doesn't pick fights, but a gentleman will damn sure finish them. I think that's true of you.
Damn straight. And right now I'm about ready to fight the glasses company on behalf of our friend Max, because I know Max would love to read The Fourth Estate.
Yeah, I just can't see. It should be like there's a race going on too with my glasses. I got one coming from the state that the pharmacy will eventually just call me in 3 to 6 weeks. That one I put in 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago almost. And then I went down to an online place because the state has kind of a monopoly here, apparently, and there's only one laboratory that everybody uses. If you use your insurance, because they're like, your insurance will pay for a free pair of glasses, and I'm like, awesome, cool. I broke mine. I need them fast, and they're like 3 to 6 weeks.
That's not fast.
So $50 on the glasses website was supposed to be 3 to 5 day rush shipping. Right now, it's been sitting 2 days. It took them a week to get my prescription right or whatever. And so apparently my glasses are in Georgia.
Oh,
that's one pair of them. The other pair, I will just never know. It's just going to come and they're going to call me and they're going to be like, your glasses are here. And it will be really funny if I go wearing my new glasses to pick up my glasses.
That would be funny.
Yeah. No, that would be funny.
Because I bitched that lady out when she said 3 to 6 weeks. I lost my shit. I was like, I've never heard of it taking longer than a week in my life. But we've digressed as a nation, ladies and gentlemen. That glasses now take, bro, you could get them in 48 hours. But they said if I wanted to push a rush on it, it was like $750. That's more than the fucking glasses are worth.
Are they just out of curiosity, are they still using like, COVID supply chains?
No. It's that they shut down all the labs because they were expensive to run. Right. All the private labs are basically out of business here. And the only lab that is in the state of Massachusetts is at the prison.
And
it's, yeah. But they'll be free. I felt like $50 was worth my fucking sanity just to get them quicker, and it hasn't been as quick as I would like.
You know what's funny?
I paid for the cheapest glasses with the fastest shipping. You would think somebody somewhere would be like, oh, this guy really wants his fucking glasses.
You know what's
as a gentleman that also needs glasses, I completely understand there, Max.
You know what's funny, Max, is so we have I have the audiobook of the Fourth Estate, and the audiobook is supposed to take, like, the audiobook is done. It's all I will get around to get the book. It's been a rough couple weeks, Sam. No, but
I haven't even ordered the book yet. I said I wanted to, but yeah.
But what
I will, and I will hold that book up. And the other thing is we got to get these authors that you've been helping out to do some helping out back.
To be fair, Eric Bishop had me on his Instagram live stream, which really helped me out. All
we really need is some of these guys to just retweet, and I think they naturally will because you're a nice guy.
Terrence McCauley tweeted out about.
I'm pretty sure he's been watching some of the show. To be honest with you.
No, like that's the thing is like Terrence is actually like a fan of the show, and I didn't know this.
That's awesome.
I didn't know this, but Terrence is actually like a cigar aficionado too. And so like I guess one of his things is he likes to watch the show and like smoke a cigar
on the break side. I got a new pipe. My old pipe is fucking. I mentioned this, but I didn't show it. It fucking had a little blowout down the bottom there.
But no, what I was gonna
see the light straight through it, right? So I got a new. It's a nicer pipe. It's ebony instead of this one. It was sold to me as wood, but it's also got resin, and the resin fucking
yeah. No, what I was gonna say though is the audiobook right now. Like the audiobook is done, but I'm just waiting for like Audible to approve it. So that's going to take
Is it you? Is it who does the audiobook?
So I'm good at reading nonfiction, but when it comes to fiction, I suck at it. So I auditioned, and this gentleman by the name of Doug Green who narrated the first one and did a good job.
Oh, big shout out to Doug Green. I didn't even know that who did the first one because I didn't know there was an audiobook. We should promote that more. People like audiobooks.
Yeah,
Is it on Kindle? Is it one of those ones you can get if you have the Kindle subscription?
Yes.
You should really promote that.
Yeah, I actually have started promoting that the ebook is also on Kindle Unlimited.
Because if I didn't know that, a lot of the audience probably didn't know that. And some people prefer audiobooks to reading just generally. And if they can listen to the audiobook for free.
Yeah. People should also buy the
Oh, I'm sorry, Audible. Is it free with Audible Unlimited?
Yeah, it's not free with Audible Unlimited, but I know that it is free with Kindle Unlimited though, which is
right. Okay.
Which is kind of interesting, but long story short, so the audiobook is taking 3 to 6 weeks to approve. So what I was gonna say is it would kind of be ironic but frustrating if the audiobook arrived sooner than your glasses did.
Yes.
Yeah.
At least the state ones, because I know the state ones won't come first. It's getting close, though, to be honest with you. So the state ones have had 2 weeks. The other ones have had a week and a half. The state ones have had 2.5 weeks. So 3 weeks is coming up. And if they really rushed it, but does the state do anything in the earliest time frame? Not in my experience.
Fuck no.
No.
They do it in the least efficient time frame. So I'm gonna assume 6 weeks. Worst case. That's why I bought the fucking glasses, right? I'm like, I could wait a month, or I could wait a week, but it's been a week and a half. But that's because I give them the picture of my prescription, right? I know this is riveting to the audience. And they kept asking me for the PD number. Anybody that has glasses would deal with there's a PD number. It's always 62 or 63, right? For everybody. But they were asking me for it, but I couldn't get in touch with the real person because all their shit was automated until I said I was going to cancel the order. Then all of a sudden they figured their shit out lickety split, but now it's waiting on delivery. What is it? Glasses USA. I chose purposely the most big name one because they will be the only one that delivers to Massachusetts, strangely enough. Although I could have had them delivered to Rhode Island if I want to go to another one and then pick it up. Because I could walk to fucking Rhode Island. The struggle is real. I can't see, You go to these links. Sam, you know how it is.
Yeah, well,
Sam can see perfectly fine, ladies and gentlemen. Sam's like, I don't fucking care.
No.
He cares, but he doesn't know what it's like because he's got the no legs. But that's a whole different set of problems. Morpheus knows.
Yep.
I mean, I do have
breaking my eyes sucks.
I mean, I do have.
Well, it's similar because it's the little things that people don't realize that you have to fucking adjust to, right? I had to move my monitor a foot closer to me and then lean in, and then I can maybe play a video game if there's not a lot of small text.
I mean, to be fair, I do use glasses to read books actually. So I
have astigmatism, so I use them to see everything that's not right here.
Yeah.
And that sometimes can include reading. It depends. It definitely includes reading small text on a screen. I need my glasses for that pretty much universally.
Speaking of, though, one of the nice things about self-publishing is that even with a paperback book, one of my pet peeves with paperbacks in general is that usually the big publishers, they print the font size in really tiny
either really tiny or the large print one that's almost too big.
Yeah,
and the book's fucking 8 miles thick.
And look,
There's a happy medium, Sam. I know what you're doing. You're finding a happy medium where it's a little nice, crisp to read print. Also, it's a novella, and you planned a trilogy of novellas at least, right? So, like, the hardcover would be for all three, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, so
that'll be like the special edition for somebody that wants all three after they've all come out, I would say. So I wouldn't even worry about it. They're novellas, so they're the perfect length for a paperback. Somebody can read them in a weekend or a night, even. It took me a night and a half, you know?
Well, what I was going to say is, like, 14-point font, though, I think is, like, a pretty reasonable, like, size.
Yeah, because hardcovers are usually 12.
Yeah, I mean, and I have some visual tracking problems, so 14 font is like is a good size too.
Font discussion, ladies and gentlemen. You only get this kind of riveting content on the Whitfield Report.
Well, I mean, look, we're talking out
font discussion and pussy smoke. These are things you can only get.
I mean, to be fair, you can also get. You can get the pussy smoke theory here on the Whitfield Report, but if you want pussy smoke calculations, you need to head over to the Fake Untitled podcast.
That's true. They did the math. Those guys are fucking. Oh, they've been going off on that SweetBabyInc shit too. If y'all haven't caught up, they know quite a bit about that.
It's Which, speaking of, I actually want to pick your guys' brain about that because, so Morpheus and you and I have kind of been debating about this.
Games journalists. That's the first thing. All of them.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So we can agree on that, but so let me lay out my problem though, because it's not that. So here's my problem, right? I understand why people are pissed.
Oh my God, we should have an intro for this and like a song. Sam's problem. Let's go. What's your problem, Sam?
So I get the SweetBabyInc thing, and I get why it's a story and whatnot. But here's my problem: is
said the thing. Go ahead.
Gamergate was supposedly supposed to address the same problem,
right? And it didn't.
And it didn't. And instead, like,
gamers are bigger pussies caved into the left than they were then, by and large.
Yeah, and so like, and so like Morpheus, I understand like you. So I tweeted out, like, is this really Gamergate 2? And Morpheus was like, yes. And my whole thing is like, I understand, but like, it's
a different, it's not even Gamergate 2 as much as it's Gamergate 2.0 or Gamergate reboot or something, because a lot of the key players on one side are the same people, but a lot of the key players on the other side are a completely different batch of people. The actual side of Gamergate, so to speak, in this case. The people that have been putting in the work with the SweetBabyInc stuff are not Gamergate.
Right.
And a lot of them are way too young. They don't even remember. They weren't a part of Gamergate. They were.
Yeah.
Now, as I understand it, Gamergaters kind of hopped in, some of which I know, and were like, hey, here's some pointers on how to deal with journalists, because fuck them. But I think our thing is bigger than that, like, at this point, right, Sam? Is like Gamergate wasn't as big to the cultural revolution as a lot of them seem to think it was.
Yeah.
Just like the alt-right guys, every group of like dissident people, libertarians will say this, thinks that they're responsible for the change in the culture at this point. Nick Fuentes will say that.
Yeah.
But what's really going on is people are so sick and tired of the people in charge that they've gone to join different dissident factions, and they all together kind of behind Trump did a thing and took over both the Republican Party to some degree. Actually, at this point, I think we took it over. Laura Trump is going to be the head of the GOP now. So the Trump faction's in charge, whatever that means. We'll see where that goes. Obviously, McConnell's stepping down. Like, the changing of the guard is very fucking real.
Yeah.
Gamergate and the revulsion of people to woke politics in movies and in television shows is not one little thing. It's part of a larger thing. I said this years and years ago on like the old shows we used to do. And Shmuley, if you were here, would say the same thing. This has been what we've been harping on forever. You don't have to do much except show the craziness of the left, the far left too. Because I'm not even talking about all leftists. I have leftist friends, right? I'm talking about and they are repulsed as much as I am by the far left shit. You know what I'm saying? It's gotten insane where you have these people advocating things that don't make any sense to normal people. You don't have to really fight hard against that, because in fact, if you do, you become like Nick Fuentes in the alt-right. You become crazy, and to some degree, Gamergate, you become a pariah, right? Fighting on the battlefield, you take yourself out of the future battles in some cases. And we don't need to do much as like the kind of the Trump center, I guess you could say at this point. And also what I've pointed out, like I'm going to rebrand it to like white trash nationalism, Kid Rock nationalism, I used to call it, Kid Rock conservatism, white trash conservatism. This idea of like, you can be conservative because you see some of this shit going on and you're longing for 1985. The motherfuckers are like, oh, the conservatives, they're longing for 1950. Well, yeah, some of them are. Mostly they're really uptight Christian types, right? But I feel like the Trump base maybe wants to roll things back to 1985. But yeah, let the gays get married. Who cares?
Yeah.
And a lot of things he would leave up to let the states decide too, which I think is the best course of action and kind of how this country was founded. When you come to stuff like abortion, tranny bathrooms, this should be a state issue. Okay. For example, if it's so fucking important, riddle me this, everybody on the far left. If it's so fucking important to the state to regulate tranny bathrooms in such a manner, they don't regulate, like even murder is not treated as seriously as this. Because federal murder is a different thing than state murder. States have to have their own murder charges because it's so important. Why would you deal with something like as trivial in comparison as using like, and a lot of places will have a third bathroom now just for this fucking reason. That's not good enough.
Yeah.
That's not fucking good enough. No. We need to use the women's room and make them uncomfortable. Fine, whatever. A federal law to deal with that when murder is generally not dealt with on the federal level. Drugs are generally not dealt with on the federal level. Prostitution is not dealt with on the federal level. Rape is not dealt with on the federal level. So why the fuck do we need to federally regulate which bathrooms people can go in outside of men and women biologically? That's the only reason you would do it. If you're going to have a distinction at all, either it's everybody free for all or it's men and women.
Yeah.
Or you put the third bathroom out there for the people that don't feel comfortable in either. But it's not about their comfort. It's about society accepting them, which is what makes them feel comfortable. So they have to go in the women's room. But it's also because it's all part of their perpetual goddamn revolution that everything can't be good enough. Nothing can be good enough because they have to tear the whole fucking system down. All of it. Everything you fucking love, everything you've ever cared about, all has to go to make way for their utopian fucking crazy think. Right?
Yeah.
And liberals need to understand this too. It's not just people like us. Oh, you conservative Christian kind of right wingers that'll drink a beer. And but you know what I mean? But you're not like, no, we have to go too. But so do the liberals. Ask these crazy left wingers. The liberals get the bullet too, is what they'll tell you.
Well, because
you're just as bad as us.
Well, because the liberals don't go far enough for a lot of these left wingers, and I want
That's exactly it. No, you're not part of if you're not part of their perpetual revolution against the machine to overthrow it and insert whatever utopian communism they want to put on top of it in its place, right? If you're not on that team, you are the enemy.
and that's why.
And it probably means, by the way, global communism under one government is they'll say it's no government, some of them, right? But that's because they have these weird theories about how people interact, which are all basically disproven by the theory of human action by Ludwig von Mises. They can't answer to most of what it says there about central planning.
Well, the interesting thing is that like anarchy and communism are kind of like two sides of the same coin.
Well, you can have, see, that's the problem, is like it's a different paradigm as the anarchy versus authoritarian. You can have, at least in theory, you can have an anarcho-capitalist small society like a city. You could also have an anarcho-communist. They would function very differently. But this stuff only works in a commune on a small scale because of human action. I think one would last longer than the other based on that. But the idea of human action, for those that don't know, it's like a video game when somebody discovers an exploit that the developers never thought of. Whenever you centrally plan something, people will find ways around, maybe by accident, maybe by sheer determination, maybe by dumb luck, right?
Yeah.
But they will break the system that you set up in some way, shape, or form, whether it be through corruption, whether it be through manipulation, whether it be through exploits, loopholes, what have you, right? And so to centrally plan the whole world, to me, sounds like a fucking nightmare. But to them, that's what they want.
It's funny that we're talking about central planning because,
and I mean, centrally plan right down to when you go to the bathroom, because the climate is important.
Yeah, all of this is briefly talked about in the Fourth Estate.
Oh yeah, because fuck the media. Isn't that the perfect launch for the fucking book?
Well, the Fourth Estate talks about the deep state, and not just in the government, but also in the media, in like in corporate culture too. See, like, and I actually talked about this with with Terrence McCauley because he worked in government. The thing it is like, yeah, there might be like some like deep state operations somewhat, but the thing about government bureaucracies is they're bureaucracies and they take a long time to do shit.
Well, so you think about it like a performance-based bureaucracy, at the very least, in like a company, will meet the minimum deadline. Government tends to be a lower bar than that.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like anything done by the government, you should expect it to be done the worst way possible, which is why the government should only do things that only the government could possibly do reasonably.
Right. And what is kind of funny, I'm not trying to spoil anything, but like there is some bureaucracy even within the Fourth Estate. And there is like a breakdown in communications, which I point out. So
just bureaucracy is the ultimate villain in a
yeah.
It's like, God damn it. I need to fill out 5 forms to go talk and hear the fucking villain's monologue. This is awful.
Yeah, well, and then the villain just draws on and on and on, and people are getting
and never actually says anything because he's like a corporate fucking media shill.
Yeah. Well, just imagine, like, no, in all seriousness, like George Soros says a lot without saying anything. So
that's true. We say a lot and don't say anything.
Well, we actually
just occasionally make funny jokes.
We
all worthwhile.
We actually we make funny jokes, but we make more pointed, arguments just by making funny jokes.
No, I refuse to accept that. We're stupid, obviously. Don't listen to us ever. Sam, I encouraged people to insult vegans a couple weeks ago.
I don't
know how smart the show is, but
Well, listen, people need to realize, if people can't tell what is satire, then
Yeah, it was that's it. It was satire. You guys didn't get. No, I was joking.
Yeah,
Don't
no.
actually go tackle vegans and force feed them meat. That would be terrible. Why would you do that?
By the way, I'd like to point out that was actually last week's show too.
Oh, it was last week. Wow.
Also, I can tell by the way you were looking that your wife is already giving you like a dirty look. So...
No, I'm hoping to get one eventually. She did get a little embarrassed with when I brought up pussy smoke, and then she just went. So that one's still fresh, but mostly because she's the one that said it.
My favorite thing about that was that we actually got like a whole bunch of engineers to actually fact check Craig, who, by the way, is our official engineer correspondent on the program.
Yeah, if we have insightful, cutting edge, serious science questions to ask him, like about the boiling point of pussy smoke, then we bring him on.
Well, I actually might have like a question for him,
but he's got to be careful in the future, see, because he got fact checked on that pussy smoke equation.
Yeah, he got fact checked. He got fact checked by Evan, who I don't know if Evan is actually an engineer. I think Evan might be the one non-engineer in that.
Evan's just the dude. I don't know. I like Evan.
Evan's also
he was right.
Evan is also Indian, feather not dot. And I can say that because
I'm gonna call him for tech support.
Because well, no, he's not one of those Indians. He's
What do you mean by those Indians? What's going on here? I, for one, stand by the people of India. Sam.
He's one of the Native Americans, I guess.
Native American. Well, why don't you just say Indian?
Damn it! Yeah, I actually don't know what tribe he is a part of. So,
he's part of the wanna fuck it tribe.
And we just lost 2 viewers on Rumble. With that,
I'll be here all night, ladies and gentlemen.
See, the other funny thing is people were like, oh, thank God Apex Gamma left because he was really bringing the show down. But no,
I have filled in remarkably at bringing the show down. Just, is a smooth transition, really.
Well, and you do it sober too. That's what's even like more impressive is like, and Apex would fully admit this, but like, when he would bring the show down, it would be he would be like drunk or high. But
yeah.
But,
who does that?
But we bring the show up and down and up again while being completely sober.
I saw you drinking a beer like a few minutes ago.
Yeah, well, I've just had one.
I was packing a bowl while you were saying that. What are you talking about? Sober.
I can hear our live audience giggling at that. I'm amused.
Live studio audience.
Even the disembodied voice isn't sober.
What? Okay, so what is the disembodied?
Well, if he can hear you, everybody can hear you.
What is Morpheus's favorite beer? That's my question.
That is a local beer that I will not give the name of because that would pinpoint my location.
Okay, what is your favorite like?
Then name a beer that you can name. See, that makes it even worse because then people want to find out what it is. You should have just named a different beer.
Morpheus, since I know that you're generally, I don't want to pinpoint your location, but people know you're from New York. Do you enjoy Genesee? That's my question.
It's all right.
Okay.
What about Red Dog?
Yeah, it's good. I've enjoyed it.
Red Dog in the 90s was like a bum beer that had a ton of merchandise, and my parents got into it for a while. But like bums love Red Dog. In fact, we named our main bum in town that would buy us liquor when we were underage was named Red Dog. Because he drank Red Dog beer, and
I'm proudly drinking Yingling lager from Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Not yet a sponsor of the show, but they should be, considering that.
I don't know. It sounds kind of Chinese to me. I've had a Yingling. But
no, yeah, that it's actually German, I guess. But yeah, it does sound Chinese.
Yeah, it sounds
anything
Chinese.
Is better than Natty Ice.
I'm suspicious of anything that sounds Chinese because trust China. China is an asshole.
Yeah, China is asshole,
and you can take it from me because I am also an asshole, and it takes one to know one. And China is the biggest asshole there is, at least currently.
Well,
unless they're aliens preparing an invasion of Earth, because then they're the biggest assholes. But otherwise, it's fucking China, and it's basically the same thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, have you seen the leaders of the CCP? I mean, they kind of look like aliens.
That's true.
This is true.
So does most of China, though. And you're not allowed to say that. It's not politically correct. But I don't know. This is the thing: is I love fucking Asian people. Actually, I've worked with so many fucking Asian people, like, and some of my best friends, and even like a godparent to my child is Asian. I have nothing against Asian people. They don't look funny. Chinese Asian people have a specific look to them that's different than all the other Asian people. And yes, they outnumber them, but the Asian people I know are mostly not Chinese. They're either Japanese, Korean, Laotian, Cambodian, right? I know a lot of those types of Asian people. So yes, to me, Chinese people do kind of look weird.
What's funny is like
but you're not allowed to say anything looks weird nowadays, right? If you got purple hair and your fucking face and vagina pierced together, you're fucking not weird, right?
Yeah. Well, no. What's funny is like all the internal race, like Chinese and Japanese. Like you think Chinese and Japanese people like hate each other, even though
generally they're not the best of friends.
Yeah, but no, that what's funny to me is like all these like different ethnicities. It's not just about skin color; it's about ethnicities. Like,
well, the other thing is how Chinese people interact with me in my life is different than other Asian people, and it's different than other cultures. I'm telling you, they treat you like you're alien. For the most part, if they're not like integrate, like I'm not talking about like Chinese people in America that are like third generation or whatever. I'm literally talking about Chinese people from China, right? Treat you like you're an alien or like you're not the same as them. That just always. I've never felt that way about any other group of people living in Massachusetts, right? But Chinese people, if you go to because they all live in fucking Chinatown, bro. All of them. It's the only place you'll see them. And they look at you funny and they'll try and sell you shit, but they'll try and scam you too. But they have some bomb fucking food. You go get a dim sum down in Chinatown in Boston. It's fucking delicious, right? But everybody's looking at Whitey, even if there's more than one. They just treat you like you're not the same, and they're better than you.
See the Cubans here in Florida. The
Cubans are some of my favorite people.
Hell yeah, dude! The Cubans are awesome.
Our Chinese descendants or like Chinese American nationals that like renounce China, a lot of them are cool too.
Yeah.
It's just if I go to Chinatown, I get weird looks from people and they talk to you funny. Even if they speak English great, they kind of talk to you funny. I just don't get this from Japanese, Korean, Thai, any other group of people that I could say there's a pattern, but there's definitely a pattern with me and Chinese people.
I will say that, like,
and also they took my job.
I will say that my Chinese acupuncture doctor has worked miracles for me, but he also renounced China because he grew up like during the Mao era.
Yeah, and he's probably been here for ages, right?
Yeah, he's been here like since
those kind of guys are always chill. But you go to Chinatown. And I don't know, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm a paranoid racist. I don't know. But like, I don't trust China. The nation of China. Why would you ever trust China? China is an asshole.
Well, to be fair, neither does he though. That's my point. Neither like a lot of these people who fled China because of Mao, they don't trust China either. So
yeah, well, modern China is a little bit sneakier about it.
Speaking of China, they're gonna be the third. They're gonna be part of the plot in the third book that's coming out.
Oh boy, gonna have like a Mexican standoff with Chinese and the cartels and the deep state and
yeah. Well, see. The way the current deep state is working, it's kind of like they're inspired by China almost to do shit. I mean, they
almost like the elites in China and our elites kind of talk. You know, almost like the internet gives them the tools to do the same shit, only they're not allowed to here as much as they are in China without getting put in check to some degree. But we let them continue to further and further it, and eventually they'll have that.
Yeah,
reject the social credit score. Absolutely reject that. If that comes into being in any way, shape, or form, fucking opt out of everything possible. Fuck that shit.
Reject that and reject the CBDC.
I honestly don't care if they do a fucking USD currency. I just need them to keep cash.
Well, that's the thing is I don't mind either as long as they keep cash. But the problem is they want to get rid of it.
Right, exactly. So
they want to get rid of cash, and supposedly that's
and opt out of the big platforms. That's part of the problem. Like, look at Google's fucking AI recently. I know people have to have seen how crazy Gemini is, right?
Racist fuck.
But it's it's openly racist against white people. One. It promotes all the talking points, and it basically admits to like trying to rig the elections and things as a part of Google. It's wild that this is allowed to just, we're not even talking, like Congress isn't having hearings, nothing's going on.
Remember when Google, their motto was "Don't be fucking evil"?
Yeah. No, that was their role model. That was their slogan at one point, and then they
were kind of evil then, though, to be fair.
Oh, I agree, but they were at least trying to say that they weren't.
Trying to say, they tried to say it. And then they were just like, you know what? We should stop saying that because we're evil.
Did you guys hear about Elon Musk's lawsuit against OpenAI?
No,
I did not.
I can't read. Sam, I can't read.
No. I know.
Like a peasant and watch people's fucking show and them talk about it, and then come out here with the same tired ass opinions that every grifter on fucking YouTube with no soul has.
Well, see,
I need to read source articles, Sam, and I can't see.
Okay, so Max, I have a soul, and B, I got kicked off YouTube already.
I know, but that's why I'm saying, I wish I could just read articles instead of watching other people give opinions and then come on your show and be like, yeah, this is what fucking so-and-so the grifter said, and then all the other grifters said the same thing, and that's what you should say, because that's how grifting works.
Well, see,
I can't see, god damn it.
Well, see, I'm not a grifter, but you should buy the Fourth Estate. See, I'm not a grifter, I'm a salesman.
That's called being a shelf yourself.
By the way.
But anyway, so basically, the purpose of OpenAI was to be open sourced initially, and but
what made you think that, Sam?
I don't know the
fucking name.
The fucking
name, or was it the charter, or I don't know. What could it be?
The fucking name and the fucking charter, and then they got bought by Microsoft and
yay, big corporation comes in and says, fuck all that openness.
And so now it's closed, and so basically Elon is suing OpenAI, saying, "Hey, what the fuck? It was supposed to be open. That was basically like the charter." So that's basically what he's suing them for. Long story short. I don't know if it will be successful, but like, more power to him, I guess. I hope it'll be.
We'll see. I don't know. That's interesting though.
Because if it could be open source, like, then I would just get like you, Morpheus, and probably Shmuley to like contribute and like try and mess around with it and
make AI great again.
Yeah, and that's what open source software is supposed to be. So
yeah, Valve even like groomed us all into Linux, or at least me. Like I definitely didn't take the plunge nearly as much until Steam Deck. But a little bit with Steam OS before. The old Steam OS wasn't as good. But yeah, open, not only software, but open platforms is the way to go anyway. For the future of humanity, for the reason I mentioned earlier, human action, right? Like human action could be somebody throws a wrench in the works and fucks the whole thing up because you didn't foresee a conclusion. But human action is also Albert Einstein. You know what I mean? Nobody foresaw him coming, and the advancements in mathematics that led to the advancements in rocketry that led to us going to the moon. Yeah. Right. You can't account for just sometimes human action just creates a genius thing that changes the world as much as it will do something that ruins the world sometimes too. And that's just kind of how it is. Can't really program that out of us, I don't think.
No.
It's kind of the beauty of being part of this massive tapestry of humanity, you know?
Indeed.
For every fucking Albert Einstein, there is a Hitler, you know? And both of them could do things that change the course of history forever.
You know, speaking of Einstein, I don't pay attention to the Oscars very much, but I was happy to see that Oppenheimer won Best Picture this year.
Oh, that's cool, because usually the last, 15 years, I think we've looked at this on the show, they usually pick pictures nobody's seen to be Best Picture.
Right.
No,
at least it's one people have seen this year.
Yeah, no.
But also, the only thing I saw out of the Oscars was John Cena naked. Oh, yeah. So, you can't have naked, attractive women in anything anywhere anymore, or even partially naked attractive women. In fact, you can't have attractive women on anything.
You can have big buff naked man.
But you can have the buffest guy, besides maybe The Rock, that most women find attractive. You know, the average woman, he's in the top 5 for most women.
To be
naked
fair,
at the Oscars, and that's not a big. Also, he didn't even have the balls to do it. Literally, he didn't even have the balls to do it real naked. He had a flesh-colored little thong on behind his sign.
Yeah. To be fair, Sydney.
And ladies and gentlemen, I just want everybody to know that if I was told to be naked at the Oscars, I would absolutely have my actual dick out because I'm not a coward.
I believe that. And I mean, and hell, if they, same for me. Although no one wants to see a naked cripple.
Because even naked cripples don't want to see naked cripples.
Doesn't matter if they see it. Well, no, but there's a sign. There was a sign.
But
also, what do you think happens at the gym?
Yeah, that's fair. But that's the gym.
I'm just saying.
Also, though,
same thing to me.
To be fair, though, you know, you said that attractive women are allowed everywhere. I will give SNL credit. They did bring Sydney Sweeney on SNL, and she's
Who is that?
She's an attractive actor. She's like an attractive actress or whatever.
She's one of those that we horny post about.
Okay, yeah. Well, that doesn't impress me much. You guys horny post about a bunch of chicks that are bad at wrestling. Oh, they're gonna bring in Sasha Banks in AEW. So speaking of women's wrestling, who's she gonna wrestle? The ass and titty girls? Why does he even bring her in? What's the point? They don't have a division.
Well, I mean, she might wrestle Tony Storm, who is bad at like. Although, see, Jimmy will get.
You keep telling me about Tony Storm, and the only thing you ever showed me was her bent over with her dress up in the air, slapping her own ass, Sam. That's the only thing I've ever seen. You pointed to Tony Storm when you said she was good. We went through this already once on the show, Sam.
Yeah, and I clipped it, and now Morpheus is here for.
I'm just saying. Rhea Ripley is an eater of worlds, right? Charlotte Flair is somewhere. I don't know. Nia Jax is a ton of shit.
Agreed.
My God, there's a lot of women that are actually worth watching. Shayna Baszler, she's underrated. She mean as fuck.
Agreed.
Bayley both as a heel, and I think now her getting a WrestleMania match. She won the Royal Rumble as a face turn.
Yeah.
On her old buddies has been some good shit. Because see, they were all speaking Japanese, talking shit about her. And secretly, she learned Japanese, and she was like, "No, you won't talk shit about me no more. I'm coming for your title." That was good stuff.
Sky Blue, although
but
I
everything
like her,
you show me about AEW and everything I see on my own of AEW is either I watch a full woman's match because y'all horny post like a picture of it, right? And there's clips on YouTube. So I'm like, okay, what's the match? It's fucking trash. It's fucking trash. That doesn't belong even on an indie show. Women don't belong in the ring that can't wrestle, okay? Straight up. And these women can't wrestle. There's perfectly good jobs for them as managers and valets and ring girls and announcers and maybe even a commentator, although I haven't seen one good. Hell, they're even slinging them in as referees now. But if you expect me to believe any of these fucking bitches that you guys point to as actual legitimate professional wrestlers worth my time for any other reason than to look at their ass and or titties, you are a liar.
Look, I'm not. Look, I'm not gonna disagree with anything you say.
Right.
Because and I look, Morpheus, do you look? I'm gonna allow Morpheus to like.
Yes, please, by all means, show me something in AEW women's division that isn't ass and titties.
I am not an everyday watcher and haven't been for quite a while, but I will look up a Tony Storm match that I remember, and I will give you the link after the show.
Yeah, not in WWE because I saw most of those.
No, before either before or after.
Same with Paige, right? Or whatever they call her in AEW. Like, what does she do after going there? She came out of retirement and shit, and it's just nothing.
Ass and titties.
Yeah.
OnlyFans?
Paige is overrated these days.
Everything. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'd love for they should either scrap their women's division or like get talent. That's what I say about AEW. WWE, they got the women. Look, I am looking forward to Rhea Ripley eating Becky Lynch for breakfast.
Yeah,
I'll predict that right now. WrestleMania, Rhea Ripley is going to continue to just dominate.
Rhea Ripley is not my favorite looks wise, but she is a formidable
as you might imagine. I don't fucking judge them that way, if you can gather by everything I'm saying. And she's the most dominant woman in wrestling by a landslide. Yeah. And man, she killed it in her hometown at the Elimination Chamber. They went nuts for her, and she's a heel. So there you go. I'm all on that train and her beating the shit out of Becky Lynch. Like I said, Bailey and Io Sky, I'm looking forward to the match. Maybe not Io as much. She's like my least favorite of the three Japanese broads, as it were. But Bailey overcoming her old faction and winning the title, or maybe losing. I think she might even lose. It's still a good story. They got good stories going on with the women's over there. And then they put on somewhat good matches. There's a couple others. I think I seen Zoe Stark was all right. Some bitch like named Isla or something. She was all right.
Yeah, Isla's okay. So as far as like wrestling goes, I'm undecided on Valerie. What's her face?
I don't know. How about this, Sam? If we're gonna do wrestling and we're gonna talk WrestleMania, who you got? Roman Reigns or Cody Rhodes?
Probably Roman.
You're for you don't want to finish the story?
Actually, well, Cody.
You're a Cody crybaby. It's okay. It's either way. I mean, Cody said it, right? We're the Cody crybaby. No, because I'm team Bloodline all day, because The Rock did that 16-minute promo on like Instagram, and I watched it, and he just shit on all of them. And masterfully, might I add. And yeah, the Cody crybabies can eat a dick. He's still stealing the spotlight from Cody. I hope Rock and Roman win the tag team match that they've just signed, right? And then they get Bloodline Rules in Cody's match, and they just all come out and beat the shit out of them. And the Cody crybabies are left crying about it. That's what I hope happens.
Yeah, see, I've always liked Roman from my look. I've gotten blocked by Cody fans for no reason on Twitter.
But I made you second guess on finishing the story, though.
You did.
Because it's a good story. But you know what's funny about it is his dad never finished the story. And he books himself or whatever. They're booking him a lot like his dad. And I think he's going to get his ass kicked at WrestleMania.
Well,
the chase. Dusty, baby. All about the chase.
Well, you know who also never finished the story is Jeb Bush.
Oh, I think he finished the story. I think the ending was guacamole. Please clap.
No, the ending of Jeb Bush's story was please clap, and also Mommy, aren't you proud of me?
Please clap. I think Please Clap wins because we both said that one, right?
Yeah.
That was the end of his. That's the end of his story. Please clap.
Yeah.
What a story it was, Jeb. You gave it your all, buddy. And there you are. Please clap.
Listen, I'm actually excited for election night this year because once election night, when election night happens, we're gonna do commentary. Like, I know we haven't streamed the debates, and I know we haven't streamed.
Well, we don't stream shit that don't matter.
Right. Yeah, we don't
debates. Like, as everybody can see, like I said from the beginning, Trump was going to be the obvious winner of the primary. And when he said he wasn't doing the debates, I said, good. So yeah, we're on track. And now we're done with that. Finally, primary over. Dumb bitch quit. Stupid fake guy in a suit quit. Fat guy quit. Interesting Indian libertarian guy quit. So where we're at, we're Orange Man and Orange Man alone, as I predicted.
How dare you, sir? Interesting Indian man is a friend of yours.
Well, that's why I was nice, but he quit. He knew when he was done. Right?
Yeah, no. Vivek 2028.
I mean, whatever he wants to go for in the future, I think he's definitely built himself a base. Yeah. I think so has DeSantis. I just don't like him. I think he's fake. I don't care if people don't like that and you're supposed to be nice. I think he's a fucking snake in the grass. That's why he ran. He thought he smelled blood for half a second and decided to put his entire political career on the line to try and take down the Orange Man. Because he smelled like, oh, there's 2 polls that put me head to head with him. Yeah, how'd that work out? The snake. That's all I see him as, a snake in a suit. I don't like that guy one bit. Vivek, I'll give Vivek credit all fucking day. He's a good guy. He's one of ours.
Yeah, no. That's why I'm saying, like you and Shmooly changed my mind on DeSantis. So
DeSantis changed my mind on DeSantis. I've been adamant about this. I was willing to give him a chance to explain himself. And even remember we were watching the debate and it would be like, how everybody else would at least give some semblance of a plan for some of the things they said. And DeSantis did none of that.
Yeah, because DeSantis like wanted to be Trump light without.
Yeah, well, Trump is the king of telling you specifics of his plans. He'll tell you all fucking day. And the problem with the debate is they'd cut him off, but he'll tell you his fucking, like, that's the difference. He actually will tell you all of the things he's going to do. And even if he's presented with a new thing, he doesn't immediately jump to judgment. My perfect example of that is him with the vape stuff. He could have just regulated vaping out of existence, but he heard out the vape people, both sides, right? For and against. And he came to the conclusion that, like, there's different markets of it that need to be looked at differently. And that's how it's regulated today. Yeah. Except in my state, which is retarded, but that's a different thing.
Well, it is a state. It is a state's thing.
My state will sell you weed, but flavored vape juice is a fucking crime. Unless you make it yourself. You can be a bootlegger.
Can you sell what you make?
I mean, no. No, you can't. But it's so easy to make that you just sell like the flavor and like I have it here. Hold on. There's a big old bottle of PG, propylene glycol. I have a little bottle somewhere of VG. You put just a little of that to thin it out. Vegetable glycerin, by the way. Oh no, that was the big one's vegetable glycerin. The little one is propylene glycol. And you put a little of that with the flavors. I don't know. It's fucking cheap as shit to make. Especially because I don't use nicotine. But illegal, by the way. If I were to sell it or buy it. But I can buy the ingredients because they're all cooking ingredients. easily buy, by the way. You can go to Walmart and buy this shit. Amazon. If you want the flavors specially mixed, you kind of need to go to a vape store because they have good. I actually use Budget Vapors for that. I think I have some here. Hold on. Yeah. Colonel Custard. It's like my favorite one. You mix a little of that in with the big stuff. You don't even need the PG, but it thins it out if you're using a big vape. You're just letting me ramble about vaping, Sam?
Hey, that's your area of expertise. And also, I've been notified that for whatever reason, we're no longer streaming on Odyssey. So that's great.
Probably something to do with the way their site works. I always have problems setting shit up on. Like, I can upload videos fine, but live streaming I always have issues with. Oh well.
Yeah. Even though they're the ones with the supposed like permanent stream key, which I entered in properly.
Yep. I don't know.
So
I always have issues with Odyssey, but I do like it. I don't know. It's one of those things.
Yeah, it used to work fine until it didn't. But
there you go.
So yeah,
I have to take. You know what I have to do? I have to get my old episode I did about straight pride off of BitChute and put it somewhere proper because people it comes up. And so Dip and you see that Dip in our fucking server was asking me about shit that I've like video of, like Antifa screaming like a crazy horde at me when I said God loves you. I literally have video of it.
Yeah,
it's wild that the whole day was wild. There's video of all of it.
Well, see, like people think that Dip is retarded, but he's actually not.
I don't know who you mean. I don't know who thinks that. I think Sam is speaking purely for Sam's point of view here, ladies and gentlemen.
I think Sam thinks that Dip is an idiot.
Yeah, Sam thinks Dip's stupid.
I've said that I think he's only half stupid, and that he mostly like
Sam absolutely making it better.
Yeah, no, I'll just lean into it fully. I mean, his name is Agent Dipshit, so that's like
gives him a little bit of a pass, I would say.
Yeah. So,
I love cornering Sam into saying something even more offensive than the thing he accidentally said that was offensive. That's my favorite thing to do on the show. Like Sam makes like a slip up that's not even really bad, and I'm like, oh yes, tell us more about that. Why don't you?
Yeah, that I just think absolutely worse. So.
Yeah, with your laugh of like, oh shit. Well, may
as well commit now.
It's great. It's the greatest. It's the greatest bit in the history of the show. To be honest with you, is to double you down unintentionally on whatever offensive thing you've said.
And that's why my aw shucks personality comes, in handy. So I'm almost uncancelable.
Yeah.
I
don't know. I mean, they could shut us out of places, I guess. Rumble would be a bitch if they did, though. They've been really good to us so far.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I mean, I've seen now, like, people say worse than we do on Rumble all the time.
People play fucking music on Rumble. Like, actually, like,
the only time we've done that is it was literally like we know the artist and he was trying to get his work out there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't normally do that or watch movies and shit. I don't know how they can't hold a show, Sam. Like, look, if people want to go watch a video about catfishing, they could watch the video about catfishing. Why would they need us? Well, what do we add? We're here talking. Our show is our show, right?
Yeah, I mean, look, way back in the early days of YouTube, and sadly, these videos aren't even up anymore. But like when you used to be able to do like commentary on music videos without getting struck, I did commentary videos on like some classic rock shit.
Right on.
That was pretty cool. But
I would love to do like an underground hip hop kind of commentary show. Right? But I wouldn't. I watch a lot of those. I don't know about if you know this about me and Shmooly, by the way, but we look for weird shit on the internet, and one of them is like react videos, right? There's this one guy, No Life Shack. He is the funniest react.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I love No Life Shack. So what's
I used to watch him when he had like 10,000 subscribers, and I just knew this guy, and also he's like pro 2A and pro America. He's not a right winger, but like he's a cool motherfucker. And
what's even funnier? I'll have to see if I can find this, but someone made like a No Life Shack video of one of Merch's retarded rants. So and they spliced it together, so it was like No Life Shack was going. That's amazing. Man, this motherfucker is like, I didn't want this dude to smoking, man. He's crazy, you know, or
he has some of the best reactions sometimes to metal and hip hop. But I watch smaller channels that do the same thing sometimes too. Particularly recently, I watched one, and I feel bad about it because it was the only reaction I saw to my friend Playboy that I mentioned before, Billy, Playboy the Beast, the guy that got put in jail over January 6th. He's back making music now, right? And one of them is a Tom McDonald diss. And bro, I know people on the right are like, oh, we love Tom McDonald. And me and Shmooly could even say that Tom McDonald kind of mirrors a lot of our worldview and talking points. But you listen to the song, and knowing Billy, I'm biased, obviously. We've known the guy a long fucking time. But it's still a hard fucking diss track. And so I'm looking for a reactor to see if it's just me, right? And he's like, he's basically the Johnny Fox of hip hop reacting, because he's figured out the bare minimum you need to do to call yourself fair use according to the algorithm or something. So he does the minimum effort of like listens to like 10 seconds or 15 seconds exactly, whatever the algorithm tells him, right? And then he'll say, wow, that was crazy. And then he'll play it again, and for like exactly 15 seconds be like, yo, that's some shit. And then play it again so that he can't get caught by the algorithm, but he said nothing. And then at the end he's like, wow, man, that was a crazy video. You guys check me out in my next reaction. All right, peace. And ended it. It's the laziest goddamn thing I've ever seen. And he basically, in my opinion, just stole my boy's song. I wanted to report it on his behalf because he did nothing. Fuck this hack. Reactors, sorry, not sorry, are hacks for the most part.
Agreed.
Yeah, well, I would like to point out that, like,
at least No Life Shack is fucking funny.
Right.
He is the draw for most of the videos. Even in the case of a lot of times I with him, it'll be a metal song that I've heard a billion times, but I'm like, No Life Shack will be funny reacting to that.
Yeah,
he's the draw.
No Life Shack reacting to Freebird was fucking nuts.
Yeah.
My favorite No Life Shack reacting to an old song is Painkiller by Judas Priest, because he freaks out in the first like 5 seconds.
I'd also like
He's like, nah, you ain't allowed to come in that hard, Judas Priest.
I'd also like to point out that, like, Rick Beato is not like, I don't know if you I know you know who Rick Beato is, Max.
Not offhand. No.
Wait, you don't know who? Okay, so So Rick Beato was a music producer in like the 80s, and he's turned into a YouTuber, and he's interviewed.
Oh, yeah, there's a bunch of people that do that kind of stuff. Yeah, I might have seen him before.
Yeah, you've probably seen him.
Oh, Beto.
Yeah.
If you read it, it's Rick Beto. Yes, I've heard of him.
Yeah, it's Rick Beato, but he pronounces it Beato.
Yeah, well, that's good for him. I read it. Same day. Yes, I know who you mean.
Yeah.
You know who else I watch for reactions, Sam? This one might even surprise you or other people. The Charismatic Voice.
I love her.
She's very good. Yes.
Yeah, no, I like her too.
Oh man, but you guys are horny posters. Are you doing it because she's like you think she's hot or something? Because like
I legitimately love her.
No,
I'm a music nerd and she's a music nerd, and so I feel
I also
a connection there because she gets excited about little noises and songs and little notes and tricks of music, and she can explain them quite well because she does musical theory basically for a living. I enjoy that kind of thing.
Yeah. And
then I see my buddy who works his ass off on his hip hop songs, and some lazy, fat, fucking 144p camera loser is doing the bare minimum to react to his videos and said nothing, and it makes me fucking sick. And that's why people hate reactors. Because there's great ones out there that provide lots of value, but then there's pieces of shit like Johnny Fox and the guy I'm talking about. I don't even want to give him the fuck. Because he had like 10 views. He's just trying to catch an algorithm. Fuck.
Yeah, reacts.
Meanwhile, I could do like the Charismatic Voice for hip hop in a way, because I know hip hop probably better than a lot of fucking rappers, you know?
Look, I've been tempted to
but
do like
I find it lazy.
Yeah.
It absolutely is lazy unless you do it like No Love Shack or with the Charismatic Voice.
No, I find react videos to be lazy too, and I'm crippled.
Another one that I find good. Reliving the War is essentially a reaction video. This is it's a wrestling bios, and he goes through the history of every Raw and Nitro, WWF and WCW, head to head, in basically recaps every match in every segment, and then rates which one is the winner at the end. It's a great bit of history if you watch that period of wrestling. Technically a react video. And the biggest problem a lot of people like that do high effort reaction content is that they're always fighting copyrights, and that's kind of what makes their job hard. But also this guy's sifting through hundreds of hours, or at least like 5 or 6 hours of television every week from the archives, and making it into a 45-minute, narration thing. That's talent. That takes skill. That's fair use, in my opinion. But lazy motherfucker finding out what the algorithm will and won't tag can kiss my ass.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
We sit down here and, hold down a 2+ hour show every week, no problem, without reacting to shit. We do it every once in a while because it's relevant to the news story. But for the most part, this ain't a reaction show.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, well, reacting to news clips is not the same as reaction videos, because usually we do.
Well, we haven't done that.
No, we really haven't.
Right.
We don't.
You mentioned the lawsuit, but there was no article attached to it. It was just, you heard about the lawsuit.
Yeah, well, because I'm actually glad that you bring that up, because people have asked me, like, why don't read news articles anymore? The one thing I've noticed is that like most news articles online are like riddled with typos, even bias,
right? They're all biased to one degree or another. And then two, why should we spend 20 minutes reading that little article when we can sum it up in 2 sentences?
Yeah, and then also
talk about what's actually going on and relate it to things, and that's most of what we fucking do. We don't need an article because you can just literally bring up a topic. Yeah. That's why we don't read a lot of articles. Also, because I don't know if you guys knew this, and maybe it's the reason I asked about the audiobook. Sam reading stuff that's, just there is sometimes not his favorite fucking thing to do. He much prefers to talk off the cuff.
Yeah, I am better at talking off the cuff than I am like reading.
Yeah.
Than I am like reading shit aloud. With that being said, like I'm working
not
on
that you don't do it. It's just, again, we're gonna read a 5-paragraph article that basically says 1 sentence worth of information to the audience and waste their fucking time. I don't know.
Yeah, which I did for years, like even before Apex became like co-host. And my whole thing with that was, well, that was a waste of fucking time. I could have read that and like I could have summed that up in like.
Well, they're not getting paid to write the 1 sentence of relevant information, right? They're getting paid to write 3 paragraphs that they can put ads on.
Yeah, and that's because like that's because let me give you a little insight.
And they're gonna get out compete by AI real quick.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Believe me, I went to school for technical writing. AI
is not going to necessarily outcompete guys like you. In fact, it's a boon to guys like you who are writing books, because people don't like, and AI can only maintain coherence at this point in time for a certain amount before it trails off into nonsense.
Right. Yeah.
But an article is not that hard for an AI to produce, because it's basically a short form essay, and they're actually pretty good at it.
Yeah. No, that's why all these professors are now like freaking out about like AI being used for college papers, because like
and there's nothing they can do. This is another human action thing. What are they going to do about it?
Well, and I
AI detection that may or may not even work, because you don't know how. They'll say, "Oh, well, I used AI detection on this, and it said it's AI, or it said it's not." How do you know how the AI detection even works? It's another AI. You're fighting fire with fire, and it's beyond your comprehension. I guarantee it, unless you're an engineer.
Yeah.
And we could have our resident engineer on, and I think he understands it a little bit, but like a lot of it is very highly technical.
Yeah. I will say this, like it is funny that the whole Google Gemini thing popped off right as I was starting to use it to like to preview drafts, because like that. So there is a flip side with like Google Gemini, which is that like if you prompt it enough, it will say based things, but you really have
to force it.
Yeah,
that's kind of true of all of them. And by the way, that's human action.
Yeah.
The computer still needs the user input at all, right? The AI at this point in time, it's not thinking. I've said this before. It's pulling words from a Bible of words, and you're adding to the Bible when you interact with it.
Well, that's what Kurt Doolittle said when Shmuel and I interviewed him.
Why do you think that his whole thing, it used to be the Proprietarian Institute, but that kind of term got co-opted by weirdos, so now he goes Natural Law Institute, and it's the same thing. But why do you think that the premise of it all boils down to getting rid of parasitism? It's not just because, I'm kind of talking fast through Kurt Doolittle for the audience here, but Kurt Doolittle's primary objective, you might see Kurt Doolittle's stuff and even hear him talk and think that it's kind of complicated to understand, but it really isn't. It boils down to, if you can get rid of parasitism in all of its forms throughout the system, then the system is kind of tasked with doing that. And that's the most important thing. And that could be lying, fraud, corruption, waste. There's a lot of things that could be parasitism, but it's not just because that has historically been a problem through civilizations with just people, but also if you have particularly forms of parasitism like lies and slander, used by the machines as a form of essentially mind control on the populace is another reason why parasitism is bad, right? But he understands the AI as like a computer and AI guy himself. He understands that AI itself isn't the problem in this. It's who watches the watcher kind of deal. Who programs the AI to lie, slander, and so on.
I can tell you the answer. The Fourth Estate
based promo, by the way.
Program. See, you set him up, I knock him down. That's how you do it.
Humble book salesman.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Mr. Medicare is a humble hat salesman. I'm a humble book sale.
There you go. I mean, it's been working for fuck's sake. I actually think this book's gonna do really well, Sam.
No, I already like all people are already buying it, and it's not even 24 hours old. Well, I mean, I guess now it's like been a day and a half, but
close enough.
Yeah.
It's launch day. People are buying it. It's fucking just 2 of the 3, and obviously they're gonna want to see what ends, and also will bring more people in with the 3rd because obviously.
Well, also in regards to that, like you mentioned 3, so I do want to specify something here. So if you read the Fourth Estate and you read to the end, you will find the title of my next book.
The next book that you have to finish, so I don't have to hobble you, right?
Yeah, or something. Which I do want to point out that I was trying to make a joke about the CCP kidnapping me to silence me, but you and your lovely wife made it into misery, basically. So,
well, look, you're either gonna finish the book or we're gonna cripple your legs.
Well, I mean, okay, I guess. I mean,
it's a fair deal.
No, it's very fair. It's very fair. So
you got to know how it ends, Sam.
Well,
it's very important.
Well, let me just say this too. So
you wanted to be a storyteller, tell the damn story, Sam.
So I'll release the 3rd book, but that'll be the end of season 1. Then season 2.
Oh, don't tease season 2 because then the hobbling's back on the table.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 3rd and final in the series. And then, it looks like I got you. There's more to come. It's fine. And don't be teasing it now, motherfucker.
You know, I'm just unpacking stuff from the vault, so to speak. So I've got a couple of years worth of stories in my mind.
You know who's got a lot of stories?
You do for sure.
Johnny Fox.
Tell us about Johnny Fox.
Okay, well, look.
Hey, did you hear he had a contact with Penguin Publishing at one point?
Yeah, I
did hear that.
I did hear that. Did you see that? Like all of our author friends laughed at him.
Yeah, well, as they should.
Like all of them.
Yeah, I mean he's a goober pretending to be. So I got like a Johnny Fox alarm the other day. I didn't even look into it that he was like bothering a friend of the show, also known which was her name Nevi. He's like messaging her all mad because this shit's on Kiwi Farms, and it's like, well, the advice has been the same. Stop being an idiot and also an asshole. That combination can cause you a lot of problems. See, I'm an asshole, so I make sure not to be an idiot. It's really important, you know? And if you're an idiot, if you're because I feel like one of those two things is kind of an immutable characteristic for everybody. You're either an idiot or an asshole, primarily deep down in your soul, right? And so if you're an idiot, you should really try not to be an asshole, because those two things don't mix. If you're an asshole, you definitely don't want to be an idiot. If you're an idiot and an asshole, you might just become Johnny Fox or DSP for that matter, or Ethan Ralph, or Mersh,
or Boogie 2988.
I mean, Boogie can be not an asshole sometimes, so I think his immutable characteristic is idiot.
Okay, fine.
Wings, I think, is also idiot primarily. Although, no, on that Low-Cal podcast, sometimes he turns idiot off, so maybe you're right. But you can look at every Low-Cal and pick whether they're primarily an idiot or an asshole.
Baked Alaska is definitely an idiot.
Oh, he most certainly an idiot. In fact, he has probably the least asshole of anybody on that list, but his idiot is so high that it puts him above other people.
Yeah, Baked Alaska used to follow me on Instagram, actually. Crazy.
Yeah, I called him the F slur on Twitter at some point, and he blocked me. Because he had a picture in bed with Milo, and I felt that was an appropriate, thing to say.
Yeah, well, to be fair, if he was doing that, he brought it on himself. Basically,
you haven't seen that picture. Look, I don't know.
I've seen that picture. Unfortunately,
Jesse from Pod Awful says Baked Alaska is all right, and he's just an idiot. And I've learned that I think that he's correct. But Baked Alaska being a Fed, here's the thing about that, right? I don't think he works for the Feds, but I think if you're friends with Baked Alaska, the Feds are gonna know something about you. You know what I mean? I think he sold people out to the Feds. And Pod Awful's retort to that is he was facing some very serious charges. A lot of people would do that, and that's fair. But I don't think you should be called out for that.
I think so. Here's my theory. I think Baked
fuck snitches.
So here's the thing.
Snitches get stitches.
So here's the thing. I Nick Fuentes has basically admitted that Baked sold him out to the Feds, but then
I don't think he did. I don't think he did, because I think Nick sold everybody out to the Feds before any of them.
Well, my theory,
he got nothing, and there's video of him saying to go in and shit.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of video of Fuentes. There's all kinds of video of him saying to break the windows and shit, and he got nothing. He didn't even go before Congress like a lot of other people. He didn't get any charges. He got his money back. Who's the real Fed?
Yeah, but by the way, Jacob Chainsley doesn't even seem that like Fed.
Is that QAnon shaman?
Yep.
Yeah.
I see. The thing is that the Feds talk to a lot of people, and if you talk to them, you're going to end up giving up information regardless. But it's fair to call some people federal informants when they give information to the Feds. But calling them a Fed as shorthand is stupid, because they're not a federal agent, right? Baked Alaska is just an idiot. Do you think for 1 second they would fucking bother with his shenanigans 99% of his life, except for the one time he was at January 6th and was an idiot there? No, they actually don't care. Or they care about, oh, well, you know this guy and you know that guy, and these guys say some wild shit. But they don't care that he used to follow you on Instagram, I'm sure.
No.
We're not buddies with Baked Alaska. I don't think very highly. I think he's an idiot, but I think he's an idiot that you should avoid.
Yeah,
he's not malicious, really.
No, and I was never buddies with him.
Good.
To be clear, I was never.
Hold on. Did you suck his dick?
No.
Okay, good.
Did he suck yours?
Oh, yep. Hold on. Did he suck yours?
No.
Okay. That checks out. Those are important questions.
To be fair, I was never friends with James Alsop either. I interviewed James Alsop once before it was apparent that he was a neo-Nazi.
Did you French kiss him at all?
No.
Okay, good. Tickle his taint?
No. That's...
Well, then there you go. Okay. We're good.
That's gay.
Yeah, that's why I asked. If you did that, not only would you be gay, but you would be gay with a Nazi. So I had to know.
So you'd be Nazi gay.
Ow. I just got hit in the head by something. What happened? What was that?
It was a flyer or something.
It was a roll of toilet paper. Crowdsy. At least it wasn't a tomato. Man, audiences these days are tough. I'll tell you.
Oh, don't give her any ideas though, man.
Was it the tickle his taint line that caused this, or no? I need to know what part was too far that got me in. Yeah, it was the tickling taint. Okay, Sam, remind me, no more tickling taint on the show.
Well, okay.
Make a note of that. Write it down. Morpheus,
Say it again.
Write this down. No more tickling taint.
Babe.
At all on the Whitfield.
I'm gonna...
Tickling taint.
No.
Co-host next week.
You want to know what's funny? And this is true, by the way. Someone tried to set me up with Laura Loomer, but I took one look at her and I was like, nope, that's she has crazy written all over.
But would you let her tickle your taint?
No.
That's good. That's good.
No, knowing her, she would probably try and stick a menorah up there or something.
A dreidel probably would be less awkward than a menorah. If you're going to use racial stereotypes at all of Laura Loomer putting something in your butt, I would have gone with a dreidel. Sam goes right for the menorah.
Well, she just seems like she's that much of a freak.
And that you do too. No, it is going in your butt after all.
No, I'm not saying I want that. I'm saying that's why I avoided her. So
plus the dreidel, you could sing the dreidel song while she spins it. Oh, that one hurt. What was that?
That was a water bottle, and and I heard that, and like that was like a clear audible smack.
I was hoping the bottom was gonna hit you.
You mean you can hurt a giant skull?
So
no, not really. Yes. I'm selling it for the camera.
You know what I want. You know what the audience wants from you, Max. If we actually had permission to play like a song, we would to play like actually copyrighted music. I would love to see you like headbang.
You're gonna play "Tickling Taint" by George Clinton and the P-Funk All-Stars.
that is not where I was going to go.
But, okay. Where were you going?
Also,
my bad.
Also, the in-studio audience might kill you at some point.
What for? They're not a fan of funk music?
Okay. Well,
George Clinton is the man. What are you talking about?
Just hear me out. Just hear me out on this.
Kill and taint. I'm just getting pelted now. I think that was a box of Slim Jims, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and it looked that one missed. It looked like.
No, it got me.
But hear me out. What if you were to
Don't fucking encourage her. Now she's looking for things.
What if you were to
shut up, Sam?
What if
God damn you!
What if you were to have?
Oh, that one landed on the acoustic guitar and made a ding.
What if you were to headbang to Master of Puppets?
No, I can't. My head is thingy wrong. You know.
But your hair would just flow like.
What if the wife busts you up in the hard way?
I mean, that's happened. I think. Pretty sure you've made me bleed somehow or another in all these years.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, by accident. Definitely.
No.
At some point.
No.
All right. You're an angel. Everybody can tell.
I do feel bad for her since since you used to run around the mall and act like you had Down syndrome.
No.
He wasn't.
No, just a plain old kind of retard, right? Down syndrome would be offensive to them. No, I'll just go, duh, I love you. Oh no, don't leave me. Why are you running away from me? And then the people would look at her and she'd be like mortified because they think she's the asshole. But the problem with that, you have to stay in character at that point until you leave. You're committed. It's tough. It's method acting.
You have to stay in character, being retarded, Max.
At least until all the people that have seen it are gone. Yeah.
I didn't realize
I didn't know that was a character.
I didn't realize that was a character for you.
I know. Well, I've been method acting for almost 20 years now, so. She doesn't know I'm not really retarded.
Wait, you aren't?
No. It's been I fooled everybody. I love it.
Yeah.
Everybody thought I was retarded.
It turns out you have a 147 IQ.
Hi.
Him? You can thank him for this. I love you.
Oh, that's sweet. If I had a soundboard,
I think I can think again.
Well, that's a relief because half the country can't think.
Which half?
The half that voted for Biden willingly.
Oh, well, that's, I mean, the 40 people.
Yeah.
And then the bots. We've been taken over by a sophisticated bot army.
That's true. The AI really has taken over. So.
Oh, it didn't hurt. I barely even moved.
All right. Do we have any other topics? I know we've showed the book. I know.
I want to bring it back to the Sweet
I'd like to talk
situation.
more about George Clinton and the P-Funk All-Stars and their famous 1976 hit "Tickling Taint." If anybody else is interested.
What more could you possibly have to say about it?
I mean, it's a classic piece of funk music. You see, The verse, is playing around with words, and then it builds up to this chorus, and it's an amazing. They got horns. There's like a whole section, because it's P-Funk All Stars, right? So they've taken it up to the next level musically, where like George Clinton in the original Parliament, right? That was just like a 5 or 6 piece band sometimes, but P-Funk All Stars was like an 18-piece orchestra. And so it all rises to a crescendo, tickle and chain. That's just a banger. Anyway, what else we got, Sam?
Morthy's wants to bring it back to Sweet Baby Inc.
Don't worry about it.
They've been tickling some taints for sure.
Oh yeah, they most definitely have been. But no, so like you and Morpheus actually seem to think that the Sweet Baby Inc. is going to actually do something. And I'm just skeptical as to whether or not it's
I think it's part of a greater cultural shift, Sam. I thought I was clear about that. I don't know if it'll make any impact in the gaming industry. No, I honestly don't. I think that the greater cultural shift will, because people stop buying all these trash games just anyway.
Yeah.
Nobody was like, oh my God, I can't buy Suicide Squad because of Sweet Baby. They were like, oh my God, Suicide Squad is like garbage.
Yeah. No, but I'm actually hoping that like better games do start getting like released. As
good luck.
I mean,
You're gonna have to pull the rod out from the root first.
I mean, the indie game sector releases good games so much that I can't keep up. AAA gaming kind of just sucks. Read a book.
Yeah. Read this book. Read The Fourth Estate.
Oh, and I hear Helldivers 2 pretty good, but that's not a AAA game.
Yeah, I've heard. You know what else?
Like a AA game.
You know what is good? It is a AAA game. It's an old one. I've been replaying Hitman Blood Money.
That is a good one. That's like the best Hitman game.
And don't hate me, but I actually do like Hitman Absolution.
Yeah, same. I didn't mind Absolution. The new ones are all right, but I Blood Money is the best. Yeah, Blood Money has the best setups and shit.
I actually like Hitman Absolution. I actually uploaded a video to my gaming channel where I just like went full John Wick mode on there.
I just picked up to play today because I hadn't tried it until now. Ghost Recon Wildlands, and I'm having a lot of fun because it was like skip cutscene, put you in overpowered army guy platoon of 4 guys, steal vehicles and blow everything up.
I had
fighting the cartels, by the way.
Yeah, well, holy shit! I am actually glad that you brought up Ghost Recon because I actually based one of the characters off of Ghost Recon for the Shadows of Deception saga.
Yeah. Well, Wildlands is pretty good. I mean, it's like it's supposed to be co-op, but the AI is pretty nice too. And it's like, this drug cartel took over all of Bolivia, right? Go do army guy shit. And then there's local authorities, right? And you don't want to fight them because they'll like hunt you down like cops in GTA. But then there's the fucking cartel members, and it's fair game to kill any of them. And you take over outposts. It's a Ubisoft game. It's not like super complex. You take over outposts. You get upgrades.
Yeah.
You start overpowered, and then you gradually get like ridiculously overpowered.
Military
army guy shit.
Military game series is way better than COD, and I don't know why they stopped making this, but the SOCOM series.
Yeah, those were pretty good back in the day. I mean, the modern version of that is basically Arma. If I'm going to be honest with you, like a real good tactical shooter. Arma's pretty much the king of that.
Arma, I'm looking that up right now.
Yeah, Arma 3 and Arma Reforger on Xbox and PC. I have both. Because they're super realistic simulation sandboxes. It's like a giant world, and you can do all kinds of army man shit in it. And the gunplay is very like ultra realistic. It's a bit jank too, just because it like you could do every vehicle ever, you know.
Oh, sweet! It's compatible on Mac too.
Yeah. If you got a Mac that can run Arma 3, I would love to play. We could totally stream. I'll take you in playing some like the survival zombie maps. We could do RP. Have you ever seen the RP in that kind of shit? You can RP as like
No.
a terrorist or a cop or a robber or all kinds of shit. It's fun.
That does sound fun.
Yeah. Or like DayZ style shit where you're like in a zombie apocalypse scavenging supplies and build a base. And other players are like the worst thing in the world. You basically, if you run into another player, you got to kill him. But the world's so big that doesn't happen all the time. Yeah. If you want to get into some Arma 3 specifically or Arma Reforger, I think you'd like Reforger better. It's more simplified.
And oh snap! I just figured out I forgot my Steam user.
Or even Arma 2 for that matter. I'd still play Arma 2 if you have that.
I don't think I do.
A copy of that.
Yeah, I think
well, if you have to buy it, I would say Reforger's the newest one. But Arma 3 has the most like mods and content. But Reforger is designed so you can play with a controller.
That's great. That's nice. Yeah.
It's on Xbox as well as PC. And all the mods too, so yeah.
Well, because I'm a controller guy. So
I am more than I'd like to admit sometimes. It depends on the genre of game a lot, but yeah, I like controllers.
Yeah.
Third person shooter, always controller. First person shooter, I kind of like my mouse.
Well, that's why I'm more of a console guy. It's less of like
fighting game. I'm not going to use a keyboard, right?
Yeah. Well, for me, it's less about like I'm not so much of a console purist as I am about like a controller, guy. And for me,
I imagine it's comfy for you.
Yeah,
it's comfy for me too. You know, I used to get like early stages of like carpal tunnel because I dealt with computers my whole life, man. And how I learned to use a controller is what happened.
Yeah.
It was actually my first Steam controller. This is my second. This one used to be my wife's, but I traded her.
Mortis, what about you?
You play the deck.
I'm more of a controller player. I prefer.
Yeah, I will.
Well, there's some games that I just can't not use keyboard and mouse. Some games are only keyboard and mouse, right? Or at least traditionally. They've been doing more games like real-time strategy, for example.
Yeah, they've introduced, more so perfected the controller for Valheim now, but I still can't get used to it, so I'm still keyboard and mouse for that.
Well, I have right here. I have right here, for those who are watching on video, I have the Nimbus controller right here.
I don't know what that is.
It's essentially like a PC. It's essentially
like a generic gamepad PC kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it is pretty generic.
Yeah, Reforger is all like console friendly. That was kind of the point of it. A lot of PC purists don't like Reforger because they say Arma 3 is better. I'll say this though, Sam, if you get a deal on either one, they're fine. But yeah, you'd probably want Reforger because it's controller.
Yeah, which I'm looking at right now. So
me and Shmuley have Reforger. We bought it the day it came out to early access, but now like all the mods work. We just haven't had a chance to play.
nice.
I did a review with playing with him when it came out. It's on like my gaming channel. It was all right, but it wasn't quite done because the mods weren't there yet. But mods are there now. There's all different game modes and shit. You can do a lot with Reforger.
I actually do have a gaming channel on YouTube still. Which I probably
try and get Shmuley on.
Which I probably
I think Dip has it too, or Dalek or one of them. I think we could get at least a 4-man squad going for Armor Reforger. That helps a lot because communication is king, right?
Yeah, here's the kicker though. I don't think I can stream on my gaming channel because it's tied to my Google.
We can figure all that out later. You know, I'm just saying it's a good.
Yeah.
If you like realistic shooters, I mean, look, you're gonna get killed in one shot most of the time. That's the reality of it. He who sees first in Arma usually wins.
Yeah, well, that's generally the case.
Camping in like Call of Duty, they're like, oh, the campers. Arma is like camping the game in some ways.
Yeah.
You know, you'll go so long without seeing another person, right? That it actually, if you want to get other people's gear, you'll eventually decide that you're going to wait in a populated place and just shoot people to take their shit, which is why I say if you encounter other players, it's usually a good idea to shoot them. Or if you're playing in the military mode where there's two armies fighting each other, like the main mode, real war is camping. Real war is not running at the enemy like a moron and getting shot. Right? That's kind of how Arma plays out. It plays out very tactically, and it helps to have people communicating because then you tend to win. But even the AI is no pushover.
Yeah. See, I've been playing the Hitman games, but I'm kind of ballsy because like I said, I do John Wick style, which means like no stealth. I just go in and kill everyone, and you can win, but it's harder on those levels. So, but anyway,
there's our gaming news. We talked about games that have been out for ages. Go play something old and fuck this new shit.
Yeah, 2024 is really a drought for games in general. At least this.
Except Helldivers. I've heard Helldivers is good.
Yeah, I mean,
that one to pass. I haven't played.
I don't know. I mean, Dan, who is like kind of the gaming guy of the Faked Untitled podcast, he likes Helldivers. So
yeah, anything Starship Troopery vibes is good for a video game, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, that's just it. It's very Starship True.
There was another one. Is it like Earth Defense Force or something? That's basically you just kill big fucking creatures. Shit like that's fun.
Yeah.
It's mindless fucking gameplay. See, that's the thing. They want to do all progression systems and all this modern shit, right? Because you can monetize it in a lot of different ways. But the fact of the matter is, people just like good gameplay. Like that takes you back into the game rather than claiming your rewards and changing out your you just want to shoot a motherfucker, you know?
Yeah. Well, and also like people just want to pay for a game once and then have that be it. So
right.
Well, they'll accept expansion packs, I think, like reasonable sized.
Yeah, I
Expansion
mean,
packs like Shadow of the Erdtree coming out soon.
yeah.
Well,
I mean,
I don't know about that one, but it is supposedly pretty large. But we do know, like, Phantom Liberty is it for Cyberpunk is fairly large, right?
Oh yeah, it was good
People
too.
like
Yeah.
that. But it has to cost less than a perfect example of a game that could be like Helldivers and gotten its own way is Outriders. Outriders is a really fun third-person shooter, but they added an expansion pack that costs more than the game.
Oh Jesus.
well, like,
and I understand why they did it. There's a whole bunch of development reasons, but like as a consumer, it's not a good look, you know?
Well, supposedly, like Elden Ring is getting an expansion, and it's like it's just as much as the game.
That's what Morpheus just mentioned. Shadow of the Erdtree. I'm looking out for that. But yeah, people will even wait a while because Elden Ring's almost 2 years old, right?
Yeah.
But you got to have something that's worth waiting for and also worth paying money for. And a lot of these companies think, I don't know, they think you're real stupid, gamers. Are you stupid?
I think the price for the Shadow of the Erdtree is like $40.
Yeah, I mean, that's reasonable for an expansion of a reasonable size because the game was $60. See, that's the thing. Outriders was a $40 game with a $50 expansion.
Yeah, fuck that.
Now, as I understand it, the expansion is game-changingly huge and it has an end game, and they didn't necessarily set out to make it have an expansion, right? Originally, they said it wasn't a live service game. It's online, yes, but it's a game you buy once and you got the whole game. And it was that there was a story. I liked the story. It was like a B movie, like a Sci-Fi Channel original.
Yeah.
It didn't take itself too seriously. I thought the game had potential, but that expansion launch killed it. So yeah, people are willing to pay for more content, but they don't like to be nickel and dimed for like small expansions. Like Fallout got notorious for that. Fallout 4's expansions aren't very big.
Oh yeah. No, and that's that is my one problem with like the newer Hitman games is it seems like a live service game to me.
It kind of is.
And then it also seems like as like a bunch of smaller expansion.
Not if anymore. Sadly, see, so the version that I would play would be the Xbox version, which is like all 3 games bundled in one with all the DLC.
Right. Yeah,
Hitman. Yeah, if you don't have that version, if you don't get that version of the game, yeah, it's like, oh, do you want to play the missions from the other games in the new game? Well, that's a couple dollars. You want to do this? You want to do that? Yeah, people don't like that shit.
Yeah, well, the fact that
the new Hitman games would have done way better if they didn't have that shit.
Well, the fact that you have to connect to the internet to like play it is stupid too, because
they got into a problem with that with GOG. GOG put those games on there and they have no DRM, but having to connect to the internet is DRM. If you get the GOG version, you don't have to connect anymore. They turned it off.
And that's why my main platform for PC games is GOG.
I like GOG, but I'm a Steam guy, and I also like GOG.
You can connect.
No, yeah, I know you can connect the 2 accounts and share even some games. Thing is, I mean, my primary library, I have almost
your GOG account and just play it all from GOG.
I have like 800 Steam games, you know, and I got a Steam Deck and I got Steam controllers, and for some things, Steam is just my preferred platform of choice for any game.
Reasonable.
I also here's the thing, Xbox Game Pass is completely a whole exclusive thing for me on PC, and it's exclusive for my Steam Deck. GOG is not, but it's a pain in the ass to install GOG games on the Steam Deck. I have to do extra steps. I have to go into the desktop mode. Whereas
that
a Steam
would be
game
good.
just works out the box.
Yeah.
But I do like GOG. I own quite a few games on GOG, like 100. So I'm not saying I don't like the platform. But Steam is the king.
That's fair.
And they're king for a reason to some degree. Like, even you gotta admit, even EA, GOG, because CD Projekt, Ubisoft, all these other companies, Microsoft even kissed the ring of Steam now, PlayStation, and they all release their games on Steam because they understand that it might be the king of all platforms in the world if you really add up Steam users compared to Nintendo, PlayStation, or anything else.
Oh yeah. There's no. I'm a PlayStation guy, and I have no problem admitting that like Steam is king.
Granted, there's a large segment of those people that are gaming on old hardware that won't play modern games, but they are playing on Steam, and they're playing PC games. And I mean, if you include worldwide, PC gamers outnumber console gamers like 10-1 or something like that. But like that includes China, and China's weird with their laws and
yeah.
Actually, Android gaming is the biggest worldwide now, but that's not a surprise.
Yeah, thank you, mobile games.
Yeah.
Android's gaming has come a long way, though. There's some Android handheld devices that run emulators that are pretty cool.
Well, so here's an interesting topic for the show before we wrap up here, and I kind of do have to wrap up a little early tonight. But are mobile gamers still gamers?
No.
Okay.
Next topic. No. I mean, to some degree, but like it's not the same market, right? Core gamers might even play mobile games, but they play them for the same reasons that non-core gamers play them. And it's because they're on the toilet for 5 minutes,
Yeah.
Or they're waiting on a bus, or they're, waiting on a ride, or they're in the back seat of a car. The same reason people reach for social media is why they reach for mobile games. It's a time waster. And so, like, in the sense that you mean gamer, no. But in the sense that you mean gamer, some people that do play games that you wouldn't consider mobile also probably aren't gamers. Like a lot of Fortnite people aren't really gamers in the sense that you're saying.
I agree with you. My stepbrother,
or like VR. Like VR is a very different beast, The type of people who play VR only really play VR games. I'm a rare exception. But I play VR for the same reason a lot of them do. It's like a good workout plus a game.
I would also argue that mobile gamers are different than portable gamers too. And what do I mean by that? Like you, Max, with the Steam Deck, and me when
I was saying there's great handheld portable game devices that run on Android. They have a built-in controller just like a Switch or a Steam Deck, and they run emulators, and they're really cool. The only thing is I was looking into them, and then the Steam Deck came out, and I was like, yeah, Steam Deck's the king. And at the price point it is the king. You can get them refurbished for like $350, I think. And they run, like, in terms of emulators, Sam, I was running PS3 on it. No problem. I played through the entire game Dante's Inferno on PS3 on my Steam Deck.
I
didn't play the whole game, but I played Demon's Souls on it too.
I've been buying
and Switch games. Switch games run better on Steam Deck than on Switch. That's why Nintendo is being so aggressive about the Yuzu emulator.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. But they still do. I've played this. I played that Zelda game. Here's the thing, Nintendo. If I can play it on my Steam Deck at 40 frames per second, and I can play it on a Nintendo Switch at 23 frames per second, that's called a service problem, bro. That's called a service problem. I can play the game better on my device. Why do I have to settle for yours? And then people will talk about exclusivity till they're blue in the face. Okay, then I'm not buying your games. And Nintendo, to me, has proven to me that they don't even understand or care about American IP law at all anyway. So I don't care if people pirate Nintendo games, quite honestly. I don't even think it's a fucking problem. They're the only company I say that about, too.
Yeah, Nintendo can fuck off.
Yeah, I fucking hate Nintendo. Fuck Nintendo.
No,
I grew up with an NES. That was actually... I had an Atari, but I don't remember it before that. But NES, I remember getting it for Christmas. It was a big deal to me. And it was like my childhood through the 80s until I got a Tandy T1000 IBM compatible MS-DOS computer. Then that was my baby, right? But my NES, so I have an attachment to Nintendo, yes, but nostalgia doesn't tint my vision that Nintendo is an awful company these days. And I wanted to get a Switch because I have a son, right? But fuck Switch, fuck Nintendo. He plays on the Xbox anyway, and
I had an old school gray brick original Game Boy. That Game Boy that I absolutely freaking love. But
I had a Game Boy. I had several Game Boy Advances. I really like those. I've had a Nintendo 64. I've owned a Super Nintendo at one point. I've owned a GameCube. I don't think I've ever owned a Wii, but my mother and father-in-law bought one, so I've played Wii.
I had a Game Boy Advance SP back when that was
my wife had a DS, so like I'm not saying I've never liked Nintendo. I'm saying that they are a shady company in 2024.
Oh yeah.
And I think that their stance on piracy is so insane that I don't care if people pirate their shit.
Also, to be fair though, and I'm saying this as a Sony bro, fuck Sony for the PlayStation Portal. That's not what we fucking wanted.
You wanted the PlayStation version of the Steam Deck, essentially.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, Sam. You have an obvious choice for only a little bit more. You get a Steam Deck, and here's the thing: Nintendo doesn't like about the Steam Deck. Why Nintendo's so mad about it? Because it runs every game they've ever made better than the original systems that they run on.
Absolutely.
And you can put them all on the internal memory and just go. And not only them, every PlayStation system up to 3, and I think it does 4, but it doesn't quite work yet. It's not fast enough. So every PlayStation 1, 2, 3 portable all run just fine on the Steam Deck. Even Xbox One games, like the original Xbox, work just fine. Some 360 games work fine, and then everything newer than that runs on PC, and they run great. And I know they run great because my wife has been playing Hogwarts Legacy. Isn't that a fairly new high-end game?
Oh, yeah.
Last year.
So it runs great on the Steam Deck. So Nintendo is the only one. Sony has embraced the Steam Deck to some degree. Microsoft is trying to figure out how to work with them to some degree. But Nintendo, that's their number one competition because they make a handheld.
Yeah. No,
even in Japan, the Steam Decks, I mean, obviously they sold like 100 million Switches, but the Switch is aging. People are waiting for like a Switch 2.
Yeah.
Right? And the Steam Deck is just there, and it's less than fucking $500 brand new. And actually now you get the OLED with a bigger hard drive.
I'm probably gonna get the Steam Deck refurbished. I've been buying lots of. I bought my Kindle Paperwhite for like.
Well, it comes from Valve refurbished. It's not like a.
Party thing. Speaking of books, though, pro tip, because I do have a few people asking like about buying Kindles. Buy your Kindle refurbished from Amazon if you have to buy one.
Well, I thought you were gonna say buy used books. Man, I used to live. There was this one bookstore.
Oh yeah, used bookstores are good too. But
I used to go in with like my allowance of $10 back when I was a teenager into this used bookstore and come out with a stack of just Dragonlance novels and books about UFOs and just stupid shit, and they'd all be like 10 cents, you know, and I'd come out with like 10 cents to like $2 at the most.
I buy a ton of graphic novels from used bookstores too, so but
yeah. Books are awesome, ladies and gentlemen.
Indeed, and you should
totally. Only there was a new book out today that people could enjoy.
And you should totally buy The Fourth Estate. And
it'll tickle your taint. Put that on the jacket.
You know what? You know what?
T-shirt.
In the you know how like in the next book,
gentlemen, it was worth it.
In the, you know how like some authors have like
The Fourth Estate by Sam Whitfield. It'll tickle your taint.
Max Sand. The Fourth Estate is so good. It'll tickle your taint. Max Sand, 2024.
There's some taint tickling going on within those pages.
Well, you know, the villains, they tried to...
Do they have a mustache, Sam? Just an unrelated question. Don't think too hard about it.
No.
Okay, good.
And on that note, damn it. Maybe we should just end the show now.
I don't know why, but yeah, it's probably a good time. We went through everything. Your book is gonna do fucking amazing.
We're
gonna shamelessly get all your author friends to promo it and to their audience, and shamelessly promote it to our audience, like we should, and shamelessly promote it all over Twitter. And you're on the Instagrams.
Yeah,
which promote it there.
Yeah, well, which I have been doing, and they've been great about, like, people on Instagram are great about buying it. If you need to buy the first book, Shadows of Deception, that's been on sale. So buy that, and also buy The Fourth Estate.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna get The Fourth Estate, you should get it with Shadows of Deception if you haven't read it yet, because it is a direct sequel.
Yeah, indeed. So,
buy 2 books,
and then
buy 2 more for somebody you care about.
Indeed, that's how you do it.
It'll tickle all their taints. I'm gonna get beaten. Ow.
Yeah, I think you're gonna get beaten out after the
but
show.
you don't like it.
Yeah, no. Knowing you probably would. You probably would like it.
I have no comment, gentlemen. I thought we were ending the show, Sam.
Yep. And with that, more of the story. Buy Shadows of Deception. Buy The Fourth Estate. They're both great.
Check out the Minds of Madness podcast. Who Killed Jennifer?
Yeah.
Justice for Jennifer.
Check out the Minds of Madness. Pre-order Breach of Trust. Thanks to Eric Bishop for having me on his podcast a couple weeks ago. Really appreciate it.
You still need book. Chicago 63 is another good one.
Yep.
I load y'all up with a reading list. No, but seriously, you know, that's only after you've finished The Fourth Estate and Shadows of Deception, though.
Yeah. How about this? Like, if you have a 3-day weekend, you could read Shadows of Deception on Friday, The Fourth Estate on Saturday, and then Chicago 63 on Sunday.
There you go.
There you have it.
Good time to beat off in between for all that taint tickling.
And without further ado, folks, we thank you for tuning in. And we'll see you next week. And I think maybe Morpheus will have to bonk Mac.
I won't. I'm not gonna be with the living anymore. So I'll see you gentlemen in the afterlife.
Well, it was nice knowing you, Max.
Nice knowing you, Max.
I guess Morpheus will officially be the co-host now. So
I tickled one too many taints.
And so on, folks. That'll just about do it.
It's worth it.
Thanks for listening to The Whitfield Report on the NGC Network. Please visit Sam's website at www.thesamwhitfield.com and support Sam on Patreon at patreon.com/Whitfield Report. Until next time, God bless, God save this great nation, and God, freedom, legacy, in that order.